of Rainbow Alley, which is a youth group at the GLBT Center here in Denver. Let's give it up for Stuart Sanks, please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much. I teach third grade at the Studio School, an arts-integrated magnet public school in North Glen, Colorado, home of the mighty Griffins. I have 22 amazing young lives in my charge every day. I'm also a working actor and have performed on stages all over this city. One of my favorite roles is a drag queen named Shirley Delta Blow. She's a funny and classy hostess who loves sparkly gowns and brings joy wherever she goes. She's really just a magnification of my own personality. So I ask you this, who wouldn't want a drag queen as their third grade teacher? My classroom is filled with laughter and glitter and rainbows and books and lots of books about kids from all over the world and people from different places. You see, I want to create a safe and welcoming environment for every student to do the hard work that is learning and being together in this world. I make it a priority because I didn't have those things always growing up. I came out my junior year in high school, 1985, right at the beginning of the AIDS crisis. I eventually told a swim teammate during chemistry class who had asked me why I was so distant and depressed. I'd kept my secret long enough. I just couldn't hide or contain it any longer. I was scared and I felt alone. All I had heard were the horrors of being gay from parents and teachers and newscasters and pastors. Role models were few and far between. Even those who are out and proud today, like George Michael, may he rest in peace, and Boy George, for example, kept their sexual identities private. And as a naive boy growing up in a conservative family in Kansas, I didn't know any better. I could only hope that there were people like me out there somewhere in the world. I couldn't hang all of my dreams on Stephen Carrington from TV's Dynasty, could I? Well, maybe I could, because I ended up in Denver, the Queen City of the Plains, after all. Now, there is a happy ending to that chapter of my coming out story. Most every classmate and friend I told, beginning on that day, February day 32 years ago, was positive and supportive. I got lucky. I had allies. But that's not the case. That's not the case for many queer youth today. We've seen bullying to the point where the victims resort to self-harm and suicide, and that has got to stop today. And you know what? I'm sick and tired of talking about the bullies. They've been the focus for far too long. Instead, I want to see our institutions stand up and protect our beautiful queer youth. Give them the tools to build their self-esteem, to stand up for themselves. And if they can't, if they're not ready to, that's okay. Send them my way, because I will do it for them. I'll lend you some of my self-esteem, because this scared little boy has grown into a strong man with a loving family and a fabulous community that supports me. It did get better, and it gets better and better every day. Now, students need to feel emotionally safe, just like they need to feel physically safe. Last year, we had a lockdown in my school, and when it happened, something changed in me. Now, we do drills all the time. We know they're coming, we prepare the students, we review the procedures, just like a fire or tornado drill. The announcement comes on, we lock the doors, we turn off the lights, and we head to the corner, waiting for the police to come and release us. But on this day, the lockdown was no drill. The threat had to be real and somewhere close. There was no advance warning, no communication from the office, no time to review. The announcement came and interrupted our reading time and rattled. We locked the door and crammed ourselves into the corner. I reached into the cabinet to get the attendance list and the lollipops that I keep there to give to students so they'll stay quiet and occupied. Out of the corner of my eye, I spied a baseball bat that I found in the field and just stuck in the cabinet and forgotten about. Instinctively, I picked it up and set it next to me. I didn't know why. We listened to the murmuring voices in the hallway, not sure what was going on. I assured the students that everything would be fine, even though I wasn't sure of it myself. When that door opened, I was surprised that I found myself standing there with that bat in my hand, ready to swing at whoever came through that door. Even if that person was supposed to be there, I mean, if that person came into my room and was intent on doing anyone harm, they were going to get it. I was just going to persuade them to go somewhere else. Now, I've never been one for violence. I've always thought it would get in my headshot and that would be a bad, bad thing. But that day I learned that I'm willing and able to do whatever I have to do to stand up for what is right and protect those students in my room. Our Secretary of Education says that teachers are just waiting around for someone to tell them what to do. Boo. I reject that. I already know what to do. I've had years of training and hours of professional development to prove it. Come to my class, Betsy, any day and watch me do it. And I also know how to do it, when to do it, and most importantly, why I do it. I am more than a teacher. I am a classroom Jedi. My robes may be sparklier than Yoda's, and my lightsaber is a snowflake-topped reading party and some Mr. Sketch markers, but I am strong enough to protect the students from ignorance, apathy, and hatred, and I will not sit down or shut up until every kid is guaranteed the public education they deserve. And that happens in every school where they can thrive and be prepared for whatever this amazing, crazy journey of life throws at them. I'm here today to make a case for safe schools for every child. Now, I may be a little bit biased toward my queer community, but the marginalized have been marginalized long enough. So, I ask you again, who wouldn't want a drag queen as a third grade teacher? Thank you.